when evil grows, it must change what we define as evil, and it can open doors in the world that often can't be closed again.
What does it truly mean to be evil, both in real life and in art? And why are we pulled so intensely towards particularly evil individuals in stories? What is it about their personas that draw us in time and time again? These questions have been bothering me for some time now. You see, since I was very young, I was attracted not only to the creepy and eerie, but also to the evil. Not in real life, really, I was never known for being nasty. But when it came to the representational world, to fiction, it became very clear to me that I felt a lot of resonance with, let's put it like this, the dark side of the Force. In games, playing as the villain felt cooler somehow. Music became more interesting when it tapped into the artist's darker thoughts. The depiction of deranged figures became one of my favorite tropes in painting and in literature. As far as I'm concerned, Albert Tucker is not an extremely popular artist, and proof of that is that you won't find as much information about him online as one would like. But if you don't know his modern evil paintings, let me introduce to you The Demon Dreamer. A painting so evocative of eeriness that it verges on the psychological horror. Yet its true terror and dread comes from the embodiment of evil, from the idea that this imagery was able to come to fruition not only by the hands of the painter, but first and foremost by the memories and real-life references he had to bring back to paint it. Somehow, I got attracted to this painting as if it was an intense magnet pulling me in. I'm not 100% sure of as why things such as this happens to us, but I do have a theory, and I like to call it the black hole theory. The theory goes like this. The concept of the evil and the deranged functions in art as a kind of black hole to the human ego. It pulls everything towards it. It's true for the malefic themes in paintings, forcing you to focus first on the act represented and just later on any other elements. In films, forcing every narrative element to exist solely to combat the force or menace that a certain evil imposes. And even in music, creating a persona with such a strong aura that you can't help but have an opinion about it. Now, each one of the examples mentioned above evoke evil differently. Philippe Gaston's Klansman paintings are very provocative by nature, and they evoke this weird feeling in us that something's not quite right. I mean, of course, it's not right, it's Klansman, but besides that, the key representation of their figures is diabolical in some sense, and there is much discussion about this on the art academia, most under a creative and critical light. I'm not here to discuss meaning though. I'm here for the weird feeling it evokes. It's wicked and eerie in a sense. The Dark Knight's Joker is a figure of pure chaos, and it shatters all the pre-existent beliefs we had about predictability. His evil stems not from him fitting in a box of moral beliefs, but from him falling in another box, much more obscure and difficult to explore, which is the unknown. The idea that he's beyond conventional morality in a sense, acting in certain ways not due to an ultimate goal necessarily, but using an anarchic force behind every action to become a hazard. And besides all the insane things he made readers and watchers go through, or perhaps precisely because of that, he's such a beloved character, because he pulls us in because he doesn't fit in. because his actions are never clear enough to us. And that's the essence of an artistic black hole, something so dark that makes itself so apparent and central to the whole piece that it can't help but pull everything towards it. Our attention is focused on it before anything else because it is a constant menace. But because it is so far from our life experience, because it is rooted in the fictional world, it becomes an object of appreciation. In a sense, it's wicked that we can be pulled in by such feelings, even if they are morally unacceptable due to social constraints. Even still, it remains resonating with us, or with a dark side that lies dormant as potential in all of us. Now to the outlier in my examples, which is Playboi Carti. And I know this might seem like an odd choice for this topic, but bear with me. Before we move on though, just a quick disclaimer. I just wanted to take a very brief moment to say, if you're enjoying this content and would like to support my work, please consider liking this video and leaving a comment. I also do commissions and personal art tutoring sessions, so feel free to DM me on my Instagram or Twitter at any time. Links are on the description below. Thank you. Playboi Carti feels like an odd choice for this topic, perhaps because he's the real-life example of the bunch, but it all comes down to his persona, style, and songs, both lyrically and sonority-wise. I am a fan of Playboi Carti since I found out about Whole Lotta Red. His music is very raw and sharp, with very minimalistic melodies. Some of his songs are 3 to 4 seconds loops, with only his voice modulating on it and a lot of ad-libs and production elements carrying it further. I understand why his sonority doesn't click with some people, but that's a talk for another day. When it comes specifically to the vibe or aesthetic he has constructed in his music over the past couple of years, both melodically and lyrically, there's this idea of evil as a center theme in his songs. And I don't say this because it's trap and he talks about drugs and violence. No, it goes deeper than that. Hip-hop has many central themes, and religiousness, mainly related to the Christian God, is not rare. Many artists quote and thank God directly, so it shouldn't come as a surprise that Carti's use of the inverted cross as a symbol is a clear statement that he is, in a certain way, making music as an act of counterculture. He's antagonizing a trope in the genre and making of himself the satanic figure that most of us associate with evil. Not saying that he really is a Satanist. Whether he is a Satanist or not is irrelevant here. It's all about an image, about the depiction of a character. His devil hat, too, is a very distinctive visual style choice. And I might say, props for him and the designers who made this come to life. It's difficult to use one of those and not look stupid. When he wears it though, it's like he's consolidating his already very strong aura, and I might say I don't even like this term aura being used in this way, but just to be a little relatable, let's stick with the definition you all know and use nowadays. Aura as the vibe and magnetic pull some people just seem to have. But I guarantee you that there's nothing natural or accidental about one's aura. It's always about how well they play the game of captivating the audience. And I might say Carti's mysterious persona is probably the best business strategy they pulled off since before Whole Lotta Red came out. Mainly because it matches so well with who he portrays to be musically. The mystery fits perfectly the idea of a menacing, raw, and innovative personality. I mean, if his most awaited album opening with the lyrics, "I can't come to your party, I might come just to hurt you," shit, doesn't prove my point, I don't know what else does. Although some of us are pulled to auras that portray this very edgy and even evil persona, there is something about it being artistic that absolves it from all accountability. as long as it doesn't cross into reality. Unless you feel guilty of it. Hopefully by now I've made clear enough that the evil we're talking about here ain't really the moral and abstract concept of evil itself, rather evil as a depiction from an artistic point of view. There's this belief, often religiously rooted, that the attraction to evil things is a sign of evil in one's nature. The mythological or metaphysical explanations for this are far from my understanding. I'm not qualified to talk about this all and back it up properly, neither this channel was created for this purpose. I do believe though that most of us have some of these beliefs, even if we are not religious, that there's some threshold to the conceptualization of evil, and that there are certain boundaries we should respect, and that some things can't be depicted or talked about, even artistically, that some taboos should stay like this. How much this is true depends on the person, and at the end of the day, each artist is responsible for deciding how far they will push these boundaries. What I want to make clear though is that you should give yourself some grace, and remember that there are different kinds of resonance in our lives. Liking to explore art that is darker in tone doesn't say as much about yourself as some would make you believe. Art is no respecter of personalities or beliefs, and it's fine if you like this type of content. Appreciating crime fiction doesn't make you prone to criminality. Having the Killing Joke on your bookshelf doesn't tell nobody a thing about your mental state. Listening to Playboi Carti, or any other trapper for this matter, doesn't diminish you in any way. Hopefully you believe the same, because that's a more blessed way of living. Being able to explore this all without mixing it with real life, and making it very clear to yourself and to the world that it might be something healthy to get in contact with the idea of evil through art, that it is also a way of exploring yourself and a valid way of expression too. If you've watched this video this far, I can only express how thankful I am for you taking your time to listen to me, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this too, so feel free to reach out to me in the comments below or in social media. And may art guide you through evil thoughts till the next video. Peace.